Evening. Tonight we're back with Norfolk Angling Club. 31 booked in for this one. We're at Kelling and this is our annual charity open, and tonight we're doing it for Great Ormond Street Hospital. So we've doubled the match fees and there's no payout tonight. All the money goes to the hospital. So that's good. So we're now going to draw. Let's see how we go. Right, unfortunately I've drawn peg 12. So if any of you know Kelling, you've got the car park at the top and then the wreck is down to the right towards Weybourne, and then up to the left is what used to be an old blockhouse. But I have drawn peg 12 and that is underneath the cliffs right below the car park. And I've drawn this several times and I've never done any good. But you never know. But I think the majority of fish will get caught down to the right, up by the wreck, and that's going to fish well. But rig choice is a 3-hook flapper, 20-pound amnesia snoods, and size 1 hooks. And bait, difficult to show you at the moment because I forgot to get it out of the freezer, so it's frozen solid. I'm going to defrost it in a bucket of water in a minute. But I've got some black lug, a little bit of mackerel, and some squid. The black lug is frozen and it's what I had left over from Walcott, so no big expenditure on the bait, so we'll see how we go. But I am going to go all out for the big dabs and the big whiting, I think, and hope that all the fish down by the wreck are small, but we'll see. We'll give it a go. 31 anglers fishing, including some really top class England international in Henry Randall. He's down there, he's drawn peg, I think he's might be peg 3 or something, so he's down there. So, and then we've got Jack Toppin, who's another up and coming star, he's down there to my right, I think. And then there's loads of others who are more than capable of winning this match, so we'll see. I'll bring you back throughout the match. We've got 25 minutes to kick off, or 2 cups of tea, and then I'll let you know how we go. Right, bait presentation wise, that's what it looks like. That little bit of black lug up the hook, and then that's going to be either a little bit of mackerel or a tiny bit of squid on the end. And that hook is a size 1 Camazan B940, and they're quite thick in the wire compared to some, and that just helps you when you're whipping stuff on with elastic. I find it makes it a bit easier, stops it all spinning round. But that hook's been around for donkey's years. Ideal for whiting fishing, I like it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to chuck that out there. I'm going to start at about 60 yards because at low water there's a gutter at the bottom and then it goes onto flat sand. So I'm going to try just beyond the gutter and then we'll see what happens and move about after that. But yeah, it should be a nice, interesting, relaxing evening's fishing. And yeah, we'll give it our best shot, although as I said, I'm not over hopeful, but that's not a bad thing because it means I'll have more time to sit here and chill out, so that's good. Right, 10 minutes to kick off. I've managed to defrost the bait, so we should be rocking and rolling shortly. I'll bring you back after a couple of casts and then we'll see what's happening. Right, first to strike is Chick. He's on the next peg. Just push his nose up to the thing. Okay. Yep, 29 centimetres that's going to go. Give us a smile then, Chick. You're next to me all night. Yep. Well done. Well, so it looks like it could be a whiting evening, so that's a good start.
Yeah, I'm in again. I've got to go.
Well done. Right, first cast done and dusted. And I've got a slinky little undersized whiting on the top hook, a little dab on the middle hook, and another little dab on the bottom hook. And he's got a bit of an eye problem. He's got a bit of a sore and he's a manky looking critter. So yeah, I've got no points. 3 fish, no points. First cast done and dusted, and the line's all twisted up, so I've got to sort that out. But at least there's fish in the area, so we just keep plodding along. Right, next cast is on the beach, and that's an undersized whiting. That's an undersized whiting, and that's an undersized whiting. So, and that's only been out there about 10 minutes. So in response to that, I'm going to make the baits a bit bigger and cast a bit further. If that don't work, I'm going to have a cup of tea, and if that doesn't work, I'm just going to cry and keep crying. But that's where we are at the minute. About half an hour gone and nothing on the card, but we'll try a bit further with bigger baits. Well, it's not massive, but it's big enough to go on the card, so that's a dab. And the other two hooks were empty, so whether that was because I chucked it out further or what, I don't know. But that one's coming home for tea, because that's a nice one. If I can get 2 or 3 more of them, it'd be a nice meal, so let's go for them. We're about an hour in, and it is the most beautiful November evening, end of November, and there's not a breath of wind. It's warm, sea's flat calm. Admittedly, all the fish are mostly undersized up this end. Chick roper next to me, lovely bloke, and he's having the same thing, but he has got the one whiting on the card. Not sure what's happening everywhere else, but yeah, really nice evening to be out. And from this time onwards, sometimes the numbers visiting the matches collapse a bit, but hopefully this year it'll carry on, because springtime on these beaches in Norfolk can be brilliant. So you do have to weather a bit of a storm in January and February usually, but that'll all come good and all the spring species will come back. And we will get a few codling, but they'll probably be spring run ones, so we'll see what's here tonight. There can be all sorts here. It's just getting through all these small fish, but lovely evening. 31 anglers is really good, and yeah, long may it continue, because they all seem to be enjoying themselves. So well done, Norfolk Angling Club. Well, about an hour and a half gone, and the fishing for me has slowed right up. I've got another dab that might just be sizable, and the other 2 hooks are empty, but never mind, it doesn't matter. You've got to keep plodding away. There might be a triple shot of dogfish on the last cast or something, so it's always worth having a go. But yeah, tonight I'm using the boom rig. I've used that quite a few times, and 3 people tonight have asked me why I use that, and the simple reason is I used to use it with my dad, and it didn't tangle 35 years ago, and it caught fish 35 years ago, so it must do the same today. So, and it is, but it doesn't cast that well. It's just quick to make, and I don't like making rigs, so if conditions allow, I use them, and if they don't, I go for the clip downs and pulley rigs, and everyone same as everybody else does. But when it's southerly winds and flat calm and you ain't got to cast that far, I find them ideal. But yep, nothing complicated, nice and easy. Let's get this dab measured over to Chick, and hopefully that'll be fish number 2 on the card. Well, unfortunately it didn't make size, so they got to be 23 to measure in this match. Whiting have to be 27 centimetres, so that's why we're falling well short. We've had loads of fish, just can't get them far enough up that measuring stick. So still 1 fish on the card, never mind. Well, we're halfway through. In fishing terms, I'm having a disaster. I've caught loads and loads of fish. I've got 2 dabs now on the measure, but that's not going to be anywhere near good enough. But I've gone on to massive great lumps of mackerel now, just trying to either get rid of the little whiting or get a dogfish or something to boost me back up. Chick next door, he's just managed to run into a couple of whiting, but no, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not doing very good. But if catching fish meant everything to me, then I wouldn't have lasted as long as I have fishing, so it's not that important. But if you're thinking about doing some matches, it's ever so easy. There's loads of angling clubs all over the country. They all operate similar systems. They might have different rules. Ipswich Sea Angling Club round the corner in Suffolk, they're doing amazingly well. They've got really good turnouts. And I did see a video the other day with Tony Kirridge. I think that's how you pronounce his surname, but he's down at Eastbourne with a group called the Nomads. I watched a video the other day with Joe Plumstead down there, and they're doing really good stuff. So yeah, if you can and you have got the time, go and try a bit of match fishing, because it's not really match fishing. It's a bit of a social get together, fish with other people, learn a bit of stuff, and yeah, that's all good. You're not fishing for rows of houses, so it doesn't really matter, but you'll become a better angler as a result of it, I'm sure. So yeah, and the most horrible thing about running a YouTube channel is you've got to try and get them to grow, which is why I keep trying to ask people to subscribe. Don't like doing it, but if it helps get people lands on their recommended or whatever it does, so more people find this and encourages people to go fishing and match fishing, then that's brilliant. So if you have subscribed, thank you very much, and some of you must have done, because I'm up to nearly 500 and it's nearly Christmas. So I've got a couple of open matches coming up. They're with Holt Sea Angling Club, and they're both on this beach. Tony Thomas, who runs Holt Sea Angling Club and runs a lot of the big matches in this area, he's fishing tonight. He's about 4 pegs down to my left, and he'll be running 2 open matches on this beach. So if you're in the area and you fancy having a go, that's quite laid back and nice affair. I think one's on the 27th. Yeah, might be right. You'll have to check the dates on Holt Sea Angling Club Facebook page. But they've also got one on New Year's Day. So it's a little bit more expensive because it's an open match. I think it usually comes in at about 25 quid entrance fee, whereas Norfolk Angling Club, the matches are £5. But yeah, it's a different level really. But we're going to have a go at a couple of them, see how we get on. And it's daylight fishing, so it'd be nice to film a match in daylight, because we haven't done that for weeks and weeks and weeks. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and we're going to plod on, and I've loaded up big style, so hopefully we'll get something worth filming before the end of the match. But we shouldn't come last, because we've got a couple of fish on the card, 2 dabs, and we've got about an hour and a half to go. So yeah, all to play for, I reckon. Right, I've got Chick Roper. He's come over again, and he has found some decent whiting. He's had 4 now. Oh, I'm sucking on a sweet, so I can't speak properly. But 30. Another 30 centimetre whiting. And you're not fishing very far out, are you, Chick?
No, about 20 yards, if that.
20 yards, yeah, so it's nice and calm. I'm out there about 80 yards, and I'm not doing any good at all.
But there is these as well.
Oh yeah, that's a classic, that is. Yeah. No, you're doing all right, mate. Stick at it.
Cheers. Thanks for that.
No, pleasure. Well, that's a classic. Chick just came over, and we've managed to find some decent fish now. So I underarmed it out, and it's gone about 15 yards. Started rattling. I've got 2 undersized whiting, an undersized dab, and that's the story of the night. So I've gone back out there, and I'm trying for a fluke, some dogfish or something, because I must be miles and miles and miles behind. Never mind. Well, finally I've managed to get a whiting on the card. So 2 dabs and a whiting. He's only just big enough, but I consider that a victory after all the little ones. So yeah, we'll get him properly measured, get him on the card. Job's a good one. Right, I've decided to, we've got an hour left, and I've decided to save the last of the black lugworms. I'm going to stick them back in the freezer, because I'm getting 2 or 3 fish every chuck. They're just not big enough. So I'm putting great big chunks of mackerel on, like that, on a size 1, and just trying for a dogfish, but really I need 2 conger eels and a taupe or something. But this year I caught my own mackerel, and I filleted them up, and flat packed them together and wrapped them in foil, and they've defrosted really well. There's loads of blood, and they're holding on the hook really nicely. You have to use a bit of elastic, but yeah, it saved a load of freezer space, because I normally freeze them whole. But I filleted them and put them flesh to flesh, and yeah, put them in a bit of foil, and they've come out lovely, and they're catching plenty of fish. But I need a miracle. That's what I need. Nothing short of a miracle. Right, well, in fishing terms, that's not been very good at all to me. I've either messed it up or I've just been unlucky. But not to worry. As I said right at the beginning, this match is for Great Ormond Street Hospital. One of our anglers, Rob Ford, I wouldn't be surprised if he's won tonight. He's a good angler, he's down there somewhere. And he hasn't been fishing for a little while, because his daughter's been in Great Ormond Street Hospital having some heart surgery. So fortunately she's fit and well. They've done a brilliant job, and he's back on the beach. So hopefully, and I'm sure we're going to earn some money for him tonight. But yeah, there's no payout to any of the anglers. We've all chucked a tenner in, and the club are gonna make a donation themselves as well, so they're going to end up with a substantial amount of money. So all good. So yeah, I've got about 4 or 5 casts remaining, and left and right of me, Chick's got the odd one, but it's really scrappy. So yeah, on nights like this you just got to enjoy your fishing, take it for what it is, and then move on to next week. Last week we were supposed to be at Galston, and I couldn't put a video up because it was too rough to fish and no one could go, so we had to cancel that one. And next week we're at Trimingham, so that's back on the sand, so hopefully we'll be able to find some better fish round there. And then we've got another match on the shingle, and then we've got a couple of opens at Christmas, and I can't remember what the dates were. I know I mentioned some dates earlier, but not sure. So research that for yourself. Go on to Holt Sea Angling Club website or Facebook, and they'll come up. But Norfolk Angling Club, we've got matches running right the way through. Well, we don't even have a gap, we just go straight into the summer league, so the videos will continue, but hopefully I'll catch something else tonight. That's the aim. There's going to be a late night by the time they've worked out 30 cards, so not much sleep to be had before I go to work. So this is what we're up against from start to finish. They're all about 26 centimetre undersize. There's nothing you can do about it. They eat whatever you chuck at them, and that's how it is. But yeah, this time of year the sea must be absolutely full of them, and nothing else can get to the bait. But yeah, we'll get them back in the sea, so hopefully they grow a bit bigger and we can catch them next year. And yeah, it is what it is. Well, it's too little too late, but they're the ones you want. That's about 31, 32, something like that. Actually quite a nice fish. But yeah, overall it's been a bit scrappy. I have just about managed to get over 100 points, and then this one's going on top. So yeah, not the best, but given the fact I've caught 4,000 fish, I have to accept what it is. I've blown out. Try again next week. Right, we've got 4 minutes remaining, and Chick and I have been having a little battle between us, and he was quite a way ahead at one point, but I've managed to claw it back and it's gone down to the last cast. So in 4 minutes time we're both going to reel in, and we will see who's won the duel. Not that it matters, but something to do, innit? So we'll have a look in a minute. Right, last casts are on the beach, and I've had a lovely night fishing next to Chick, and it's been very close. But on the last cast I got 2 undersized ones, and Chick's were undersized, so it finishes my 128 to Chick's 120. But never mind, doesn't matter. Have you had a good evening, Chick?
Brilliant evening. Brilliant.
Well, that's all right. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I should imagine everyone's caught some fish, although there's been a lot of undersized ones, but you can't worry about that. Chick and I are now packing up. We're going up the car park, and we'll see what everyone else has caught. That's that.
Tonight it's all about our chosen charity as a club, and this year we decided to do it for Great Ormond Street, because maybe all of you don't know, but Rob, one of Rob's family was in there, Rob Ford, so that's why we decided to do it for that. So we've had what we've done is, tonight being the charity match, £10 a head, we've actually for Great Ormond Street raised £351. Well done. Well done. Rob, where are you? There you are, mate.
Thank you very much.
The Great Ormond Street, £351.
Oh, thank you very
Okay,
much.
and also from the club to you, you can add it to that, or you can use it for your expenses. There's an extra £200.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much.
From Norfolk Angling Club.
Thank you very much.
Well done. No, thank you.
Thank you.
What a response. 31 anglers and nobody blanked, thank God for that. If you want, we can stay here all night until about 11:30. I'll read everyone's out if you would like. Or we can just do the top 3 and then go home.
Yeah.
Okay, so in third position, Nathan Drury, 13 fish, 220 points, £4.9.
Well done, Nathan.
Second position, Henry Randall. Second, Henry Randall. 222 points, £4.10. First position, myself. 14 fish, 252 points, £5.4.
Well done, Roger.
Yeah.
And I'll even put the sweets in already.
Lovely. Thank you.
Third win this year, Roger.
It is wonderful.
Well done,
Thank
mate.
you. Right, just for the record, biggest flat, Dave Mathers, 29 flounder, and biggest round, John Catchpole, 36 whiting.
Well done.
Well done, boys. There's still plenty of sweets to be sorted out.
Don't all run at once.
I won't.